me about your organisation and where you're based.
The German YMCA is one of the oldest YMCAs in England, and we are based in central London, close to Paddington Station, and we work with the German-speaking and local community.
Yeah, so the work we do is quite diverse. So as Alice said, we do a lot with German-speaking community, but also within the local community. So we have several projects with local schools. We fund street dance in 2 local primary schools, and also in a day centre for adults with learning disabilities. And we also visit elderly people at home and things like that for varied projects within the community.
Yeah. And how long have you both been working with volunteers?
Next year it will be 10 years.
And I've been doing it since 2012.
What is your project aiming to do?
Yeah, several things.
Yeah.
A mixture really. So helping the local community is a big thing for us. Giving something back to the community that we're part of, but also giving young people a chance to improve their language skills first of all, but also to improve other soft skills such as their confidence and opening their eyes a bit more to the wider world.
Yeah, and the project should help us to get even better involved in the local community, support the local community, really support those that are in need of help, and support solidarity.
So how do you ensure that your volunteers are well supported? Because I understand that you are a mentor.
Yeah, so we try to support them from the beginning, really. So from when they apply to when they arrive. So once we've decided who's coming to us, we put them in touch with the volunteers that are with us at the moment, with current volunteers, so that they can ask any questions that they might have, things that they might be worried about, like practical things like how much money do I need to bring, and what's it like sharing a room, and what's the food like, so that they know from the beginning that there's somebody there, even before they arrive.
Yeah.
And I think that helps with any sort of initial nerves or any worries that they might have. And then once they arrive, we make sure that the first few days are dedicated to them settling in and getting to know us and getting to know the local area. And then with the mentoring, I have an initial meeting with them, and also like once a month we meet, and we start by sort of discussing any issues they might have, but then also looking at the Youthpass and the key competencies of that. That we encourage them, to, when they arrive, think about what they want to make of this year, what they want to achieve. So it sounds like a long time, but it goes by so quickly.
Yeah.
And I make a list with them about sort of what they want to do, goals. It's really important, but not just learning English and becoming more independent, but sort of bigger things. Yeah, we've had people who came to London, but to improve their English, but ended up learning Japanese or learning French, or realised that they quite liked working with the elderly. Just sort of like, it's a really good way to find out what you can do and how big the world is, and how big your oyster actually is. Yeah.
How do you think Youthpass is actually helping your volunteers?
So I always say to them that it's not actually about the piece of paper that you get at the end, because most of them are a bit like, well, what's that? Is that actually going to help me? Do I need that? And I say to them, you might do, but it's more about how we get there and the conversations that we have to get there. And a few of them have said to me, they come back and visit us, and they've said to me, I noticed a year later, a couple of years later, that the conversations we had whilst we were preparing for the Youthpass helped me in the future with job interviews and things, because it's about looking at yourself and your strengths and your weaknesses and how you learn and what you've learned, and that's really helpful for the future as well, for future jobs and so on.
And for both of you, what do you feel that your volunteers are gaining by doing a placement with German YMCA?
A lot of self-confidence.
Yeah.
So most of them come just after school. They don't know what they want to do in the future. They never held a talk on their own, so they get a lot of self-confidence, I think, skills, and it's to give them really the chance to reflect on what they want to do. I think that's one of the things.
Yeah, they learn a lot about themselves, as I was saying, because it's quite interesting to sort of look at what you're good at and what you find more difficult in at that age. And I sometimes wish that somebody had done that with me when I was 18, to really look at that and think about it. But also I think they get a lot of satisfaction out of helping. They particularly enjoy visiting the elderly YMCA members at home, and they really notice what a difference that makes, and I think that makes them feel good. And they're giving something back as well as gaining something. It's really nice for them.
Would you recommend the European Solidarity Corps to young people, and why?
I certainly would, and I wish when I was young this program would have existed. So I think it is a really great opportunity to go abroad and learn something about another culture, and just to be abroad, to be on your own, make a new experience, make new friends. Such a great chance.